Hello, guys. This week has honestly felt so good. And I'm getting this sense of restfulness, sort of, especially coming off of my 30-day challenge. But it doesn't feel like rest. And I kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit today in case someone is going through a similar experience. But I know that we've basically recently gotten off of Aries season, which is very go, 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 and starting all these new things. And now we're moving into a more grounded season. And that's kind of what it feels like, but it doesn't feel like anything's in particularly slowing down, if that makes sense. It almost feels like this calm before the storm of everything ramping up, but it's sort of come to me as this energy of when you get a new job and you have this onboarding process, or you're supposed to have this onboarding process and give them your schedule, give your all the stuff, and they're like, okay, can you start next Tuesday or in 2 weeks from now or whenever, however that works. And so you have this little period, especially if you didn't have a job that you're quitting, you have this little window of okay, my job is secure. I can feel relaxed in that security. And I know when I'm going to start. And so now I just have this window where I'm not really working on getting the thing that I want because I know that it's coming. I know I'm starting in a few weeks. But I have this little window to sort of get my affairs in order in a way. And I'm feeling it more so not in a way that you're going to be really super busy or super burnt out or anything at this new job or this metaphorical new job, new life, new timeline, but that it is going to feel intense, and maybe not as intense as if you've just come off of something kind of crazy, go, go, go energy in Aries like I did the 30-day challenge and I was running my first one-on-one group. But you're going to, I don't know, that I feel not that it wasn't sustainable, it was exactly what I needed in that moment. And I knew that long term I wouldn't be keeping up with that schedule and that demand. And it's almost as though because I had such a big priority in one thing that I let a lot of other things go, in my house and socially and all this stuff, which was fine because I knew I had this priority and it felt really, really good to finally put my dream first. And I think that that was an important lesson because I'd never really done that before, truly, in a big way. So I was really proud of myself for that. But of course, with all of those things that sort of fell to the wayside as one priority in my life took over, I just need this recalibration and need kind of that window of, okay, it's coming, this more long lasting energy and thing, and empire you're building basically is coming in, and you need to get things in order before it does, because yes, you'll be busy, but you'll also still feel really balanced. But yeah, you just need to sort of pick up the pieces that you let teeter away during the really busy season is what I'm feeling into a lot more and experiencing this week. And it's interesting because that time in between getting a new job and like knowing you have the new job but not having to do it yet, and feeling excited because you're excited for the new job. Come here, honey. Because you're excited for the new job, but you don't have the responsibility of it yet. Um, that's such an interesting space, and I honestly kind of feel like that's the golden manifestation space where you know it's coming, you know you feel good, you don't feel like you're reaching. And the thing about really wanting to live a creative life and not be in the matrix and not be working a 9 to 5 and, or, whichever matrix you feel, like it, it's not, it's not the 9 to 5. It truly isn't. I know people who do work 9 to 5s and still love their life. It's really just about loving your life. And you can totally do that with a 9 to 5 if that's your path and that's what gives you security and you feel creative within it. And there's nothing wrong with any like job or place that you decide to live your life. It's just what's right for you. So if you don't feel like that's for you and you want to shift, it's figuring out how you find the freedom to be able to shift that. And I feel like whenever you're going down a path that's sort of outside of that and there is no one to tell you you start next Tuesday and you're good, you never really get that feeling unless you give it to yourself that you're good. And even if a job were to tell you you start next Tuesday, things can happen and you could not. Like, you're just allowing something else to give you that security and that like breath of relief that you're craving to feel all the time. So there's so much to be learned in giving that to yourself and figuring out how you give that to yourself. How do you give yourself that 2 weeks in between starting a new job feeling of like just everything's good, everything's working out? How can we live there, with everything? And it's going to be interesting for you to explore this because there's some things in your life that come really, really easily to you and you don't have to think about it. You live in those 2 weeks before you have to start your new job with certain things. And you might not even be able to clock what those certain things are because you feel so used to them and so natural about them. And it's just funny because the things that you think are really hard to manifest right now and really hard to get, and the thing that you're waiting for someone to be like, you got the job, you start next Tuesday, like that energy, the thing you're waiting for someone to tell you like you're good, that thing is really, really easy to other people who might think the thing you find really easy is really hard. Like, and it's just so interesting whenever you zoom out and think about it that way. And I love doing that because I feel as though really everything in our life is just frequencies. And it's you tuning into the frequency of that thing being easy for you. It's you tuning into the frequency of that you got the job and you start next Tuesday and you're good. And I've just been feeling this like, okay, you put in the work, you are showing up, you're doing your thing, you're continuing to show up, you're continuing to find how you best like to show up, and you're changing the narrative for yourself, which is all that you can do. But you're also showing other people that you can change the narrative because so many people do it this way and so many people do it that way. And it's always really about carving and finding your own path with everything. and being able to give yourself that relief of you start next Tuesday. And whenever you can give yourself that and you can live in those 2 weeks, that energy, I feel like things just feel good. And it's almost as though you open up and allow things to just feel good, especially in those 2 weeks when you know you got the job. It's like you don't feel guilty anymore or strained or stressed about getting the job. So things feel easier, things feel lighter. And we think that we need the job or the thing or the house or the relationship to feel like that sense of relief. And that's, I think, where the lesson is. And the lesson that I'm feeling is like this sense of relief that you're feeling, this sense of just good heart space and energy that you're allowing yourself to feel is able to get to you basically at any time, is what I'm learning and like tapping into a little bit more. And it's really just the fact that I feel like we allow ourselves to give that permission away and put that permission on so many different things that I don't know. That's highlighted for me lately because, and I know I've talked about this a lot too, like you can feel bad for no reason, seemingly. Like you can feel low, you can feel down. And whenever you're down there, you are searching for a reason. Typically, you're like, "Oh, maybe you're not." But like I feel like a lot of people, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe I'm just feeling this stress or this strain or this whatever, of course. And I feel like whenever we get happy, we kind of can do a similar thing. And I feel like whenever we're sad, even if we don't find a reason, we're just like, I'm sad. like not finding a reason doesn't merit us not being sad until it passes, right? And for happiness, I feel like we could be getting that feeling, the feel goods, and we're looking for a reason, we're looking for evidence, we're looking for everything to be going right. Like, oh, I feel this good, something must be like shifting and everything's gonna change. And like, we love the new start energy and rearranging and like all this stuff. And that's great. But if we can't find a reason to be happy, we do tend to, I feel like, go lower sooner. I feel like we don't give ourselves permission to just be content and just be happy for no good reason. Just for the sake of finding joy every day in this life. Just for coffee in the morning and peace and trees and nature and breathing and hanging out with our animals and just like, I don't know. There is a lot on social media, like, it's the little things, it's this, it's that, it's whatever, of course, like, but are you really feeling that? Or are you like looking at all this content about feeling the little things and never actually feeling the little things for yourself? And like letting them be big, letting a ordinary moment feel extraordinary, giving yourself the permission for it to be mind-boggling, and giving yourself the permission for you to be your only witness about it. I think that's been my biggest I've had a lot of biggest lessons, but I feel like that's been coming up really strongly for me is that I get really excited and I get really low. In both spectrums, I really, really want to be witnessed by other people. And it literally always shoots me in the foot. And I'm not saying that people can't support you or hype you up or like be there for your joy or be there when you're lower at all. Like I have some great people in my life, and I have found really amazing friends that really support those energies from me that no one else has been able to do. But I am still realizing some energies almost need to be kept sacred for you and your witness for you. Like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's like just letting yourself be in the joyful energy, not having to prove that to anyone. And then also just keeping it for yourself until you're ready to share and not needing to share with someone to validate it. That's what it is. If I'm ever going to someone with my joy or my excitement about ideas and all this stuff, and I'm desiring their validation, no matter how they react, even if they reacted 100% the way I wanted or whatever, it always still leaves me feeling really hollow and really bad because my soul and my body and my creativity and the muses of my creativity and the vessels that want to come through me to come out want to be validated by me, want me to think that they're enough, those ideas are enough, those feelings are enough to just be like here and witnessed presently. And I think that's the energy is I sometimes don't, and I'm learning how to just validate every single feeling I have for myself and not need other people to share it with, I guess. And I'm not saying that I don't share, or I'm planning not to share highs and lows with people. Like, that's not what I want you to take away. I want you to just know that if you're feeling those full body yeses, those full body dance parties, those you like if you just feel a random sense of joy while you're cleaning your house and you're like, oh, I shouldn't really like I'm just cleaning, but I'm getting this giddy feeling because I love cleaning my space because I love my space. Or like you don't even have to reason. I'm just feeling giddy. It couldn't even not be about cleaning. It could just be a funny podcast you're listening to or the show you're watching while you're like it could be for whatever. But you don't need to you don't need to find a reasoning for it, and you need to be the one to validate it. You don't need to go to other people to validate your joy or your ideas or your creativity. Like, it is good to have hype people, and it's good to have friends to help get you out of spirals, and it's good to share and be in community 100%. But if you're finding yourself feeling like almost that vulnerability hangover every time you share your joys or share your spirals, it might just be that those really intense feelings want to be seen and validated from within first before they get shared. And yeah, that's what's really coming through today. So I feel as though if you are just coming off of like a really intense project or launching your business, launching a new thing, going after like a 30-day challenge like I did, or something just really intense, and you're sort of at the tail end of it now or over it, and you're like, oh, okay, what does life look like now after I've done all this work? Give yourself that it's coming on Tuesday feeling. You got the job feeling. Like, really dig into how do you give that feeling to yourself? How can you let that feeling exist inside your body? How can you teach yourself that you have access to the power of the boss man that's like, hey, you got the job? How can you tell yourself you got the job and give yourself that feeling? And it's not about work, it's not about jobs. It could be if that's really resonating for you. But whatever it is in your life that you're wanting to call in, that you're doing so much work for, how can you share with yourself that you got the job and like relax, get your affairs in order, like just feel easy? How can you let that feel easy? And then if you are having those big highs and lows within that, how can you validate it for yourself before feeling the need to share it with others or feeling the need to be witnessed in your joy for your joy to be validated? Okay. So I hope you enjoyed today's little download, today's talk. I feel a little slower today, a little more, I don't know, content. I feel kind of content today, I'd say. I started writing my book again yesterday, which is really exciting. And I did like 1,200 words. I have a friend coming over later for a writing day as well. So I'm just really excited to get back into my world and finally finish the last leg of my book. Like, I'm at 70K words and I am just excited to have most of it down. There's gonna be a lot of editing. I almost got into editing mode, but I just want to get it out before I go back to edit because that might just like kind of stop me from the momentum I've been feeling arise within it. And I'm feeling that. I'm feeling really excited. It's been really nice to write outside because I mostly write in the winters. So it's been nice to just come out here and write and be in nature with it. There's a lot of plants involved in my book. Sorry. My cat has all her feet on my stomach and is just like, hey, I'm gonna punch you a few times. Anyway, so that's really exciting, and I'm just figuring out my pace a little bit more this week in terms of uploading and like what all that looks like. And yeah, and I've also launched some new offers if you want to check those out below. One of them involves specifically YouTube. If you are someone who really wants to get started on this platform, but you feel like you're still having a hard time like sharing your truth and believing in your voice in the way that you really want to, or you're feeling really attached to the numbers of the game. I know it's easy to get sort of in the weeds with the numbers of social media and stuff, but you really do just want to create and feel good creating and showing up every day. So that calls for you. And I have a few other things if you want to check them out, but I will see you all in the next video, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye, guys.